When the player first spawns in the Cave of Volume, the controls that they learn to use in the tutorial now are the same as those that they're going to use here. The first task that the player has to do is match the shape volumes of these three geometric shapes, cube, sphere, and a square-based pyramid, with those of three cylinders that are different sizes. And you operate the cylinders by just clicking on them, and that places a cylinder underneath the funnel. And what the player has to do is the player has to calculate the volume. So for instance, I'm going to come over here and do a calculation on the cube. So I hold down the letter I and left click and get info. I can see here on the cube info billboard that the sides of the cube are 24 inches. So then I would use the formula for the volume, that the volume is equal to each of the sides times each other. So it's obviously 24 times 24 times 24. And I use my calculator, which I access in a button just to the left of this window where I can see the calculator. And my calculator comes up, and I'm going to make my calculations there. So 24 times 24 equals times 24 equals, and I can see that it equals to 13,824 cubic inches. So I'm going to put down here a note on my notepad that it equals 13,824 cubic inches. So now that I know the volume of the cube that I'm working with, and I just can toggle that off, I'm going to do the same for pulling up the billboards for each of the cylinders and calculating their values. And I'm going to find that this particular cylinder right here, this glass, happens to have the same volume as the cube. So now what I want to do is my player is going to walk over and pick it up, picks it up automatically, and he has to deposit the cube into the funnel. So my character will walk over, and when he gets close enough, it will automatically snap into the funnel. Now it's going to start pouring its contents into the cylinder. If it starts to fill a cylinder up, that means it's a match. If it doesn't begin to fill up, then it's not a match, and the particles just disappear. So I've matched my volume, and now I can see a key appears at the top of the interface, and it's labeled with 3,456 square inches. And that key is going to be something that I'm going to need to open up the shape locker. That's the second part of the task. So to complete the first part of the Cave of Volume, I have to match each of the three shapes to its corresponding cylinders, because what I want to do is I want to earn the three keys that I need to unlock the shape lockers. So let's take a look at those shape lockers. So here's my shape blockers over here, and what I have to do is I have to calculate their surface areas. So now I'm going to get info on these and use these supplied dimensions and formulas to do those calculations, and then I'll discover after I do that in this particular instance, in this iteration, my key that I have happens to unlock the chest shaped, the chest over here. So what I want to do now is I want to move my character close enough to the chest that it's going to activate a floor target, and that tells me that I'm close enough now to this chest when this target's lit up that I can attempt to unlock it with the key. So now I'm next to the chest, and I know that I'm ready to attempt that because the floor target's lit. So I can try to unlock this chest by just clicking on this key, just left click. And when I do, sure enough, that was the correct answer, and I'm awarded a power bar. So then I can see a power bar over here on the left hand side of my interface. And I would do the same for the other two shapes, having earned the keys, and then I'll discover that As I open these up, I also get a snowboard and a backpack. So then I've completed the cave of volume, and I would then go on to watch the cinematic that briefs me and tells me how to proceed into the snowboarding free play.